So I've got my little 10-gram sachet of gluten-free dehydrated sourdough starter. I'm going to just here across the top and open it up. Now you only need half of what's in here, so you can save some, you know, if the first lot doesn't work, or if you want you can put the whole lot in. I've got this jar and I've just written gluten-free on it, just because I do one that's not gluten-free and I don't want to get them mixed up. So I'm going to tip half of this in, it's about half, and I'm just going to put in 2 tablespoons of water. So it's filtered water, so that it hasn't got any you know, chemicals and things in it. And so I just like to give that a little swirl. And the gluten-free actually dissolves quite quickly, so I'm just going to leave that probably for about half an hour, so not too long. Put the lid on, but I'm not going to tighten it, I'm just going to let it sit there. So it's been about half an hour with my gluten-free sourdough starter, so I'm just going to add in about 3 tablespoons of brown rice flour. So that's what I've been using as an alternative. So 1, 2, 3, they're quite big tablespoons, and I'm just going to add a tablespoon of unfiltered water. Oops, I meant to say filtered water. And I'm just going to, sometimes find using a knife is really helpful. There we go, give that a good mix. You see it's a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Maybe another half tablespoon. So that's looking much better. So it's just a bit more droppy. Kind of like a thick batter. So that's all mixed in really well. Oh, I'm going to pop the lid on again. I'm not going to screw it on. I'm just going to sit it on, and I'm going to just put a little line to where it's sitting, just so that I know if it's risen or not. So I'm going to leave that for about 12 hours and then see what it's doing then. Okay, so it's been about 12 hours and I'm just checking my gluten-free starter, and as you can see it has not risen at all. So you'll also notice, I don't know if you can see there, that it's got quite a lot of liquid on top, so that's called hooch, and it just means that it's hungry, needs to be fed. So I'm just going to tip that off, and then we're going to add in some more flour. So what we want to do is we actually want to double that, so we put 3 tablespoons in last time, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put 6 tablespoons in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. And then I'm just going to use this, because it's just nice and easy to hold water, to put in about 2 tablespoons of water to start with. So I give that a mix. I've got a knife here to do that. And again, it's quite thick, so I'm just going to put another tablespoon in. we'll see how that looks. Okay, so another tablespoon. Gotta just get that consistency right. So I think that's perfect.
Mix.
Give it a mix. So again, you want that drop consistency. Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you can see. And that's brown rice flour as well. So that's it. And then I'll check that.
Bye.
So it's in the morning. I just need to speak, darling. It's in the sorry, it's now in the evening. And so I'll check it in 12 hours time in the morning. So I'll put my lid on again nice and loosely, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reline that, put another line there so I can see if it's risen by the morning. Actually, I'll get my spatula. Excuse me, darling. And what I'll do is I will just scooch down the sides. And that will help me sort of see it a bit better.
Can I have a turn?
There we go. So here we go. So here is my sourdough starter, my gluten-free one, and as you can see, it actually has risen in the last 12 hours, but what it also has done is that it's dropped a little bit, so that just means that it was working really well because it rose, and then what it did is it hit peak, and so then what it does is it drops. So that's really normal, but I'm just going to feed this again, and I think we're safe to keep it in this jar because it's not rising hugely. So I'm just going to add in probably about 2 tablespoons of brown rice flour, and about the same in water, or maybe 1 tablespoon in water. So just give that a good mix. So I'm just going to feed that, and I'm just going to leave it. So I'll put another mark on it. On there, I haven't. Sometimes you need to double it when you feed it, but I don't tend to always do that. I find it's okay without having to do that, but I'm actually going away for 2 nights, so I'm going to just let this go till this afternoon. It's 8:45 in the morning, so I'll just see what it's doing this afternoon, and then I'm just going to pop it in the fridge. So that's a good way to manage it when you're not here to feed it. And I find that the gluten-free starter can actually go mouldy quite quickly, so if you're not feeding it when it's left out, or feeding it maybe once a week in the fridge, it can go mouldy, and then if that happens, you've got to get rid of the whole lot. So yeah, this is working really well so far.